Hi, Aries. How's everybody doing this morning? It is morning, 1:11. Decided, fuck it, I'm gonna do up your reading. While I was meditating on you guys' energy before starting your November reading, fuck it, let's get this out of the way. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and any cross watchers. As always, guys, take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't. Messages may not be for you today. It is a general reading. It's not meant to resonate with everybody. And if you guys, if it does resonate, if you'd like to get a more personalized reading, you can check out my info in the description box below, or you can always check out your moon and ascendant sign, and that will, watching the three can give you a better, all over picture about what's going on. All right, Aries, that said, I was talking with my sister about not wanting to do the Celtic cross, just for something different. And while I was meditating on your energy before turning on the camera, I was like, fuck it, I'll do, the 9 card block or whatever, the past, present, future. And it was interesting. You have 2 3s, 2 2s, 2 5s, the Magician card, a 4 in the Sun. So basically it was 1 2 3 4 5, and the Sun is what's here. And the bottom of the deck is applied to, so I said screw it, I'm going to turn on and we're going to go for it. I usually don't like to shuffle before turning on the camera, just because I think that's kind of fucking cheesy, but I feel like that this might definitely apply to some of you out there. Always let me know if you weren't digging it or not, but I really feel like this it's just the way it came out was so odd. Here, let's check it out. Can you switch the camera when it's like, if you pause it? I don't think you can, but yeah, right? See, but we have one, we have 3 2 3 1 4 5 5 3 in the Sun, and that's just, I'll get a couple, 2s in a reading, or 3 2s or whatever, but that was really odd to me that it was so in numerical order. So let's get into it. The bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune, and this kind of speaks to, I think, is going to tie into the theme of the reading, that luck is about to turn in your favor, Aries. You guys could also be dealing with a fixed sign, as the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac are represented on the Wheel of Fortune. That's Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. But I feel like some of you guys are really like stepping into into some of your own psychic gifts, into a new spiritual path, or just stepping into your personal power, especially with the Magician and the Sun here in your reading. And the Wheel of Fortune is about exactly that. Also, in relationships, the Wheel of Fortune could denote that someone could be coming back around from your past, kind of like the Judgment card, but this reminds you to really think about, why it didn't work out last time, and really take your time to make the decision whether or not you're going to let this person back into your life. If that does pertain to this, I see that some of you have already put in a lot of hard work to get away from some type of heartbreak, whether it was a betrayal by a friend or a lover. I'm thinking it was a relationship. This took a long time to get all the way down here to the Sun card. Okay, so that being said, just if that resonates for you, just really think about if someone does kind of just pop back in to your life, because I feel like for those of you that this is speaking to, there was a lot of heavy energy, there's a lot of conflict, there was a lot of I want to say belittling energy, there was a lot of back and forth in your head, should I stay, should I go? it shows it right in the cards in the beginning. I can read it linear also, but I'm choosing to read it horizontally. I mean, yes. No, fucking yeah, horizontally today. Usually I will read a past, present, future vertically, but this is how I see this playing out for some of you guys. So in your past position, we have the Three of Swords, the two of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, that's some fucking heavy energy right there. Okay, so in your past, probably your pretty recent past, you know, there was a heartbreaking. This Three of Swords is a card of sorrow. It's a card of heartbreak. The only positive thing with the Three of Swords is that, typically you've already gone through this Two of Swords energy where you're debating, the situation has reached a standstill until you make a decision. Because with the Three of Swords, that sudden, stab to the heart, that sudden heartbreak that you're experiencing or that you have experienced, at least clears away the confusion. And you're no longer wondering where the fuck you stand with this person, because it's pretty clear at that point. But even after that, I feel like there was this major period of indecision. And that, as I was saying, going back and forth, and negotiating with yourself, what you will and will not, what you would and would not put up with. In Aries, for a fire sign, for you guys, that's really shocking, because you guys usually are very, fierce and determined, and you're like, no, fuck that shit, I'm not putting up with that shit. But this person had you really wrapped up, Two of Swords, I feel like this definitely could have even manifested after this Three of Swords situation. You still felt that even though they broke your heart, maybe there was an apology, because that's also an interpretation with Three of Swords. Someone asking for your forgiveness after they, have broken your heart, and you were still at a crossroads with this for quite a while. Your love life maybe didn't even change until, you come to this sort of energy at the end of the past position with the Two of Pentacles. This is negotiation. This is juggling. Sometimes it could be two people, two jobs, two places to live. You guys could have been moving, because of the situation. But the general feeling that I'm getting here is that it took a while for you to get to here, to the Magician, to the card of saying, fuck that noise. I don't need you to validate me. I don't need you to, complete me, to help me along. I have all the tools I need mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally to manifest what it is I want and what it is I want to go forward in this situation. And this is you presently. And then here comes the Four of Swords, a break, taking a rest, meditation, taking the time to go within and really make sure that this is what you want. But also presently, I feel like, so you have the 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Swords in your spread, okay? So you guys are really in your head right now, heavily. Presently, yes, you're starting to get some confidence back. You have the Magician here, and it's in the upright, so he's not it's not someone being a trickster or a bad mentor to you. This is you, I think, finally, getting your groove back, Aries, and, so you say, fuck it, I'm laying down my swords. I'm taking a break from the situation. But usually the Five of Swords is about outward conflict, a lot of fighting. So that could be true also presently for you. A lot of arguing, I hear it come back, da-da-da, it'll be different, but you know better this time, Aries. And I feel like this conflict mostly is residing within yourself right now. That's why you are also presently needing to take the time to take a step back and take a break from the situation altogether. Okay? Oops, the Four of Swords is in the middle, and the Four of Swords being in the middle of the spread really says to me that that's probably the most important thing that you can do right now is take a step back, okay? Following the Five of Swords in your present position for the near future is the Five of Pentacles. Now, after you take this huge step, yes, you probably are going to be feeling a little abandoned, a little left out in the cold. But I think the main vibe that I'm getting from this is that this card also is usually, it's you know, brushed over that this is a card of a test of resources and a fear of poverty and a fear of not being able to make ends meet, okay? I mean, look at these fucking people. They are definitely, you know, struggling financially. And a lot of people, I think, focus on the abandonment factor of it because it's such a huge part of it. But this is a fear and a perception more than a reality, Aries. So you guys keep sticking to your guns and keep standing strong, you know, because if this person, if someone in your life in general has made you go through all of this, you know, this is going to probably be a test to you too, that can you stand on your own, you know, and it might take a little while, okay, but coming out of that, coming out of the spread, in the future position, we have fucking the Three of Wands, which is the good fortune card of the tarot, and you have the Sun, guys. I mean, if it isn't any clearer to me that this is probably a good decision for you to leave this toxic energy, I don't know what else would be. These two cards, like I said, this is the good fortune card of the tarot. It is, you know, envisioning your future in a different way. It's waiting for your ships to come in. You've put all this hard work into getting out of this toxic situation, and you're finally standing on your own, you know, like you're, you know, powerfully commanding respect, and you are standing on your own. What I like about the threes also typically, maybe not so much Three of Swords, but the Three of Pentacles and Three of Wands, you have one staff in your hand and two at your back. So through this process, you will probably most likely have someone that has your back, like whether it be like your mother and your best friend, your sister and your child, like you, whoever it is, you have people in your corner, Aries. So don't feel like you are going to end up here, because that's probably something else also that this person is putting into you to so you come back. And coming out of the spread, like the fucking best card in the spread, the most positive card in the deck is the Sun card. You could be connecting with a Leo again, because with the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. You definitely could be also connecting with an air sign because of how much sword energy there is in this spread. But I really feel like, Aries, that that is because you have been very in your head about this situation for a long time, okay? And the Sun card is, as we know, the most positive of the deck. It favors, you know, an upswing of health. If you are specifically a family member, I want to say, has been challenged, you know, in the health, you know, department recently, that their health will probably take a turn for the better. This card favors families, it favors children, it favors, you know, a positive mindset changing, and just, I feel like, I just like felt like lighter in my chest, like after all of this heady energy, you know. I feel like this has been a long time coming for you, Aries, and that you finally, like I said, with the Magician card, you're taking your power back. And the Sun card has the power, if you will, to shed positivity on any negative card in the reading. And not that you necessarily have a ton of negative cards, it's just there's a lot of heavy energy here. And I, you know, for November, you know, let's say, you know how I say energy is, you know, pretty fluent. So, you know, for this November and this end of the year, probably coming into the holiday season, you guys are going to be, see, if I can cut the deck, the Sun card again. you know, growth, God energy, illumination. You will have a new insight into the situation. I feel like this has been a long time coming, as I just said, Aries, and if you take the proper time to, you know, believe in yourself and to take the time to take a break from this person and, you know, these people that might influence you otherwise, your outcome most likely probably will be, you know, more like this than, you know, this type of shit at the beginning. Okay, you've already, most likely most of you have already come through that part. Presently you're, you know, still in an indecision and you're struggling with this choice, but you know deep down, I think, Aries, that you've made the right choice. Okay, so for November, I would like to pull a couple extra oracle cards for extra guidance for every sign. This is the Doreen Virtue Angel Dream Oracle deck. I do not have it memorized, so bear with me, folks. So let's see, what does Aries need to know going into November? Oh geez, two just popped out. Lady's Mantle, Mother, Healing, and Alchemy, this one. Interesting. Waning Moon, Introspection and Self-Inventory. So there's a healing taking place, and also introspection and self-inventory. That is that Four of Swords energy right there. Oh, and what else do we have here? Okay, spiritual activation and stimulation, selenite. Oh, I can't wait to get that crystal out of my friggin' deck. Alright, so Aries, you guys definitely, as I said in the beginning of your reading, actually, there's, some of you could be, you know, getting some type of spiritual, you know, activation and some type of, you know, other steps on your path to your purpose. Okay, so, whoa. So, let's see what we got here for you, Aries. Alright, Lady's Mantle. Alright, Lady's Mantle. The keywords are Mother, Healing, and Alchemy. Hey, Aries. I decided to take y'all outside with me because it just was going to work out better that way. I didn't want to bother anyone in the house. And shit, I don't even know if you can see though. So I just took your 3 oracle cards outside and we're going to finish it out here. Alright, so as I said, Lady's Mantle is your first card. Here we go. Lady's Mantle is your first card. And the keywords are Healing, Mother, and Alchemy. So let's get into it. And I hope you guys liked the new way I did the reading this month. I just felt like something different. I wanted to do something different. Okay, so this card is calling. Alright, Aries. This card is calling for you to take the time to heal. Whether heal your wounds, what we were just talking about. Whether physical, mental, emotional, from the inside out. When your wounds aren't healed, you lose life force energy. This means you might feel drained or tired all the time. Lady's Mantle is a sacred herb symbolizing the mother in all aspects, as well as healing. You're being invited to connect with your own mother, yourself as a mother, or Mother Earth, okay? Now, Lady's Mantle is also associated with alchemy, as it was once believed that the leaves imparted wisdom on whomever came in contact with them. I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. I just really didn't want to flying feathers. This card is urging you to spread your knowledge to others as well and share your stories of inspiration. That is that Magician card. That is in your present. That's that Magician card that is in your present energy. Spread your inspiration, spread your creativity, and focus on that if you are, in fact, healing from some deep heart wounds, which I feel that some of you may be, okay? I should have brought up something to put this up. Other interpretations of the card are you're being offered a sacred space and protection from nightmares. Connect with the goddess Brigid for healing and feminine wisdom. She's, I believe, goddess of the moon in some Wiccan traditions, possibly. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're receiving support with childbearing, fertility, or pregnancy. Call upon the sacred herb to aid yourself in developing an inner peace and a whole body healing. That's important, I think, for you guys. There's a need for you to work on forgiveness as it relates to your mother. And studying alchemy would be beneficial to you right now. So that's all pretty interesting. I think especially like the healing aspects of the card is going to be what speaks to you this month, Aries, okay? The second card out for y'all was, now this one I think is going to be very important too, was waning moon. Okay. Self-introspection and self-inventory. Self-introspection and self-inventory are the keywords of this card, okay? Waning moon. I think we got it right here. Okay. This symbol lets you know that that introspection is key right now. That's that Four of Swords energy. And that's in your present. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, guys. And that's in your present energy, okay? The moon represents your shadow side, the part of you that is difficult to look at and sometimes come to terms with. Yet now is the time to recognize the shadow self. Surrender your fears to the angels. Take the time to become more comfortable with this aspect of yourself. Okay? This definitely, I think, is really speaking to whomever this resonates with your situation. Additional meanings are the Egyptian deity Thoth is associated with the waxing and waning phases of the moon. Call upon him to help you during this period. And your feelings about a situation are beginning to wane. Recognize that so that you may act for its highest good. And I noticed since you guys had, the 1 through 5 theme immediately, that you're in the beginning stages of whatever this is. And I thought that was very important, even though I did not shuffle on camera, which you guys know I don't like shuffling off camera, but